Hi, VencoreWeather.com meteorologist Paul Dorian here today on Monday, February 15th, President's Day, and yet another President's Day snowstorm. Good snows are falling right now in and around the D.C. metro region. In fact, several inches of snow has already fallen to the south and west of the D.C. metro region. We're right now on the front end of this particular storm system. All snow falling right now in the Mid-Atlantic region. Again, basically south of the Mason-Dixon line right now. Later today, early tonight, some warmer air will push in from the south and east, but not before there's a significant snow accumulation. And then there will be an ice buildup early tonight as the snow changes first to sleet and then to freezing rain. Ultimately, by late tonight and especially on the day Tuesday, ordinary rain, plain rain, should fall up and down the I-95 corridor, and it could fall heavily at times. But again, before that changeover, a significant buildup of snow and ice. This overrunning front end of the storm, a good thumping of snow, probably heaviest in the D.C. metro region, on the order of 4, 5, 6 inches possible by later today. 2 to 4 inches in southeastern Pennsylvania, beginning around the midday time frame, and then 1 to 3 inches in New York City. Again, tends to weaken somewhat as it pushes to the north and east. Let's take a look at the latest isobar pattern associated with the storm. A couple things I want to point out here. First of all, we have a little bit of a coastal front seen right here. That's what that little kinkiness in the isobar pattern represents. And this coastal front is an important frontal system to watch. This actually will start to move to the north and west and pretty much evolve into a warm frontal system situation where warmer air on the other side of this will be pushing to the north and west later today. And again, that is the reason why we expect a changeover from all snow to ice by early tonight in much of the area. But also notice this pattern right here, and this is indicative of what we call cold air damming. Cold air is certainly entrenched in the I-95 corridor right now. Temperatures in the teens across southeastern Pennsylvania, low 20s in and around the D.C. metro region. It'll be hard to push this cold air out of the way. It'll take several hours before that happens. Travel conditions have already deteriorated in and around the D.C. metro region. Certainly will be slick by the evening rush hour across southeastern Pennsylvania. Again, it'll be quite hard for temperatures to get above freezing. Ultimately, later tonight, that should happen, and we should be above freezing by tomorrow morning. But anybody who's lived in this part of the country knows it's hard to dislodge Arctic air, even with some screaming southeast winds in the low to middle part of the atmosphere. Temperatures, again, way down in the teens, and of course the ground is very cold given the bitter cold conditions this past weekend. Well, let's take a look at some of these radar maps now. This is kind of the big picture here. We're looking at the entire northeastern part of the country. And again, we have a good thumping of snow going on right now across the D.C. metro region. A few flakes falling in southeastern Pennsylvania, but for the most part, it's staying right now south of the Mason-Dixon line. Again, probably midday hours for the arrival in southeastern Pennsylvania, early afternoon across New York City, other than the light snow that's falling right now. There are some breaks. There will be some variation in the intensity of the snow, but certainly some heavier bursts are occurring in and around D.C., and that certainly can happen later on today across southeastern Pennsylvania. Well, here's the current radar loop in the D.C. metro region. Again, all snow right now in and around the immediate D.C. metro region here. Good snow's falling from D.C. to the west. Again, several inches of snow has already been reported to the south and west. For example, places like Fredericksburg, 5, 6 inches already. Certainly 3 to 6 inch snowfall, very likely in and around the D.C. metro region. And this overrunning stage of the storm will then start to see the snow mixing in with sleet and freezing rain by later today, especially by early tonight, and there will be somewhat of a buildup of ice, especially north and west of the district. Again, kind of a sharp cutoff right now as we approach the Mason-Dixon line. Let's now take a look at the radar in southeastern Pennsylvania. And here's the latest radar loop coming from Mount Holly, New Jersey for the Philadelphia metro region. Just a few flakes seen right now across southeastern Pennsylvania, basically south of the Mason-Dixon line, across the Delmarva Peninsula into extreme southern New Jersey right now. That will expand from the south to the north as we progress through the midday hours, and expect the arrival in southeastern Pennsylvania during the midday to early afternoon hours, and perhaps a bit later than that across New York City. Again, the snow will be of varying intensity as we go through the afternoon hours, but there certainly can be some bursts of heavier snow, and certainly the snow will accumulate quickly on the very cold ground conditions. Again, temperatures still holding in the teens, across southeastern Pennsylvania. The ground, of course, very cold following the bitter cold this weekend. Well, let's end with a high-resolution forecast map for 4 p.m. this afternoon. This is from the high-resolution model that NOAA has. Again, it runs on an hourly basis. This is one of the latest model runs, and it's a forecast map for 4 p.m. this afternoon. By this time, the pinks here represent a mixture, and certainly there will be a mixture, it looks like, in and around the D.C. metro region by later this afternoon. Again, that's going to follow a good thumping of accumulating snow on the order of 5-6 inches perhaps in the D.C. metro region. But by later this afternoon, some sleet and freezing rain will start to mix in, and ultimately all that changes to ordinary rain later tonight. But across Philly, New York City, all snow at this time, and the certainly travel conditions will be slick from the latter part of the afternoon into the evening commute. All snow at this time. Then that will change over to sleet and freezing rain in the early part of the evening, ultimately to ordinary rain, but certainly not a good travel day in and around the Mid-Atlantic region. A good thumping of snow, especially across D.C. It weakens a little bit as we go to the north and east. 5-6 inches of snow possible in D.C. before the changeover. 2 to 4 inches in Philly, 1 to 3 inches in and around the New York City region. Even once that snow ends, though, there will be a several-hour period of ice, sleet, and freezing rain with an ice buildup. Travel conditions not good right through the evening hours. Perhaps late tonight and certainly on Tuesday when we get above freezing, travel will improve. Stay tuned to VencoreWeather.com for updates later today. That's it for now. I'm meteorologist Paul Dorian.